All right, I'm back, and now we're going to talk about the average if function. And the average if function is going to be structured very similar to the last function we did with the sum if function. So we will be looking at the function, and it will, this is a slide I'm looking for, y'all. It will return the mean of any cell in a range that meets the criteria. So the structure, the syntax is average if, range, criteria range, and average range. If the average is syntax, if the range is set of cells that you want to average. So we are going to find the mean in each one of these, either based on a set of criteria or multiple criteria, depending if you're doing if or ifs. So I'm going to come back here, and the first thing it wants us to do is going to have us just look at a plain regular average if, and they want plain regular average, and we are going to look for the average list price. So the average list price, okay, is just your standard everyday average. So I could even type this one in. I could do average, left parenthesis, my list price are in here from B5 to B16. Again, do I have to lock anything in? No, not going to fill it down, so I don't have to. Right parenthesis, press enter. So my average is 232,792. All right. Now, I could find the average list price over 200,000 for properties. So this would mean I'm looking for the average if it is over 200,000. So that's where my criteria comes in. So I'm just going to show you the difference between these two with the second example. So I can go to the formulas bar. Under more functions, under statistical are my average. So you have average, average A, average if, and average ifs. We're doing an average if. And I'm going to show you how your range and your average range can be the same in this example. So I'm looking for the list price. Again, not going to fill it in, so I don't have to lock it down. If I wanted to, though, I could just press F4 on my function F4 on my keyboard, and it would lock it in there. My criteria I am looking for is over 200,000, so I'm going to do greater than 200,000. And again, since my range is the same, I don't have to put in anything else, and I can just press OK. So I have 275, 275, excuse me, 642 and 86 cents. So the difference, the average price is 232,792. The average for houses over 200,000, because that was my criteria, is 275, 642. I could do less than 100,000 if I wanted to, or less than 200,000 if I wanted to see houses that sold on average for less than 200,000. But it's still criteria, which makes it different between this one that we've done so many times, the regular average, and the average if. Okay, so now this average if is going to be a little bit different, because this is going to be looking for the average days on the market for properties listed over $200,000. So I am looking for the average number of days. I'm not looking for a price anymore. So I'm going to press FX this time. I'm going to type in average if, and I see average if here. So I'm looking for the average days on the market for properties listed over 200,000. This is still just one criteria, okay? So my range is going to be B5 to B16, and I am looking for houses that are over or greater than 200,000. And I am not averaging this time. This is why I started with list price. I'm not averaging this time the price. I have to keep going. I'm trying to average the number of days on the market. That's the end result number I want. So this is another way for you to look at things is, what am I trying to average? Am I trying to average the price, or am I trying to average the days? And in this case, it's the days, and that's what ends up in average. Okay, the last one, I was trying to average the price. So the price is what ended up in my range, and I could have copied and pasted. I can show you that in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to end up with, I'm going to check something out real quick. Yeah, they want it to be over. And I'm going to show you something else too, just so you can see what I'm messing around with here. But they want it over 200,000. So I press OK. And I have an average of 64 days. Now I'm going to move this one down here. I'm going to show you what one slight word can do. So I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste. Trying to find a example for you. Okay. So what I'm going to do is the same thing, but I changed the wording to 200,000 or more. So I'm going to press FX. I'm going to press OK. My range again is still the sales price. And my criteria this time is greater than or equal to 200,000. And I am finding the number of days. Okay. And I am going to press C5 to C16. And I am looking for F5 to F16. Okay, I am trying to show you that it, give me 1 second. I did, so list price, I did sale price. Now it's fixed. I'm trying to show you what two little tiny words can do here, okay? So average days on market listed over 200,000, over 200,000. Don't include 200,000. That's what that one's saying. And it's 64. Now, y'all, it's just a day, Miss G. Well, average days on the market for properties listed at 200,000 or more. Okay, that means include the 200,000. And you see, we get about a day's difference here. Okay, again, not the biggest deal, but if you're trying to like find statistical information, which is essentially what we're trying to do, and we're trying to compare our market to other markets and who has the better market, whose houses sit on the market less time, because that's a big thing in real estate. You know, that one day can make or break between first and second place for something, or in a ranking. And cities want to be known for the best. I mean, they want to know, and especially in real estate, that the houses are turning over and selling quickly. So a day, yeah, it can make a difference, and these two little words make the difference between these two. And that's what I wanted to show you. Back to this one, which I wanted to show you, where I did the range was the same. Again, I could have selected this and still ended up with the same answer here. Okay, where this one, I wasn't looking for the sale list price anymore. I was looking for the days. So the days is what goes in average. So another good way to look at this is whatever the end result I'm trying to average it by is what goes in the average range. Okay. And because both of these numbers can be averaged, right? I can average F and I can average B, but it's the result is the days, not the list price value. And that's why that days is down here in average range. Okay, so the next one, average days on market. So again, it's going to be the same thing. My end result is going to be days on market here for properties listed less than 200,000 and a price reduction of 5% or less. Okay, so when we're talking about average ifs, we are doing the same thing. Our structure is average ifs this time, though, and it's like some ifs that it flips it around. So average range isn't at the bottom now; it's at the top, because that's what they did. I don't, again, I think it should be the same for both of them, but okay. So I am going to go to more functions. I'm going to go to statistical, and there is average ifs. Okay, so what's my end result? Is it days or is it money? Average days on the market. So it is F in this case, F5 to F16. What am I looking for in my first set of criteria? Properties listed less than 200,000. Okay. So my criteria range is the list price. Remember, range is range. So you got to have a beginning cell and an end cell and a colon in between. And what is my criteria? I am looking for my houses that are less than 200,000. Okay. All right, so that's an average if. Now I'm going to do an average ifs. The second one is the price reduced by 5% or less. So where is the range for that? That is E5 to E16. Again, I should be asking myself, do I need to lock anything in? And the answer is no, because I'm not going to fill it. So what's the criteria on this one? I am looking for 5% or less. So I have to include that 5%. So less than 5% is what's going to be included in this one. I have to have the percent sign because that column is structured as percentage. All right, so I'm going to press OK, and I end up with the answer of 60. And so the average number of days of properties listed under 200,000 that have a price difference from that list to sales price essentially is 60 days. Okay, and these are just numbers that people are asking for and they're looking for. Like, why in the world am I doing this? Well, that's why, because somebody out there has said, I am looking for that information. All right, so to sum up here, okay, your average range is a lot of the times going to be overlapping in things, but it says if the average range is omitted from the function arguments, the range is used. If the cell in the average range is an empty cell, Excel is going to ignore it. So what that's saying is the blank does not get averaged in. Remember, blank and zero are totally different things. It says if the entire range is blank or contains text values, average if returns this div by zero because it's dividing the whole range by zero, and the result would be zero. If no cells in the range meet the criteria, average if returns that div by zero to enter the value again. So because it's dividing by zero, so it's going to give the result of zero. All right, thank you very much.